So, like I was saying, the body of the essay, is it are the paragraphs in between introduction and conclusion. So please mute your mic, please. So if I say first paragraph of the essay, I'm talking about introduction. If I say second paragraph of the essay, I'm saying
network or
Network.
oh my God. Hello, can you hear me now? Hello. Does anybody hear me? Is anybody hearing me?
we can hear you now.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So can I move on? So in order not to confuse ourselves, let's say first paragraph of the body of the essay.
We can hear
Yes.
you.
Yes, first paragraph of the body of the essay. I'm talking about the first paragraph of the explanation of where you begin to talk about the points. That's the first paragraph. Okay, so but if you want to align it, you don't want to start counting it from the conclusion. That first paragraph of the body of the essay is the second paragraph of the essay. Do you get?
Yes, it's the second.
So now,
Because we have the introduction, we have the
yes,
paraphrasing and the introduction.
yes, that all those ones in the introduction. So now, in the first paragraph, the first point, the first point will be the first topic sentence of the first body of the essay paragraph. I hope you understand that.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
And the second point, we go to the second topic sentence of the second body of the essay paragraph. I hope you get that.
Second
Point will become the second topic sentence. I mean, this topic sentence for the second body of the essay paragraph. First point is the topic sentence of the first body of the essay paragraph. First point, the first point, okay? Are you getting it now? The first point
I understand.
Is what you will adapt into the topic sentence of the first body of the essay paragraph. The second point is what you adapt into the topic sentence of the second body of the essay paragraph. I hope you understand now.
Topic sentence.
Okay. So moving on, you have, after the topic sentence,
So how I get it, because this paragraph, this sentence, I don't know, maybe I have to see an example. Sorry, I'm bringing you back.
No problem. Let me see.
How may I get?
Yes, let me see.
Unless you have an explanation.
Let me see. Let me see an example. Maybe from a former student's work. Click. I want to show you one of my best students so far online. Okay, let me see. Is it here now? Let me see. We should be here now. Okay. Okay, sorry. Documents. Internet class. Okay. Now, this lady has done academics with me, and she has also done general with me, and she came up with the same result in the two. 9 in listening, 9 in reading, 7 in writing, 7.5 in speaking. And she replicated the same exam and the same score in the two tests that she did. So there are other students who did well, but I think I can have our own what's it called now here. Now let's see. Now this is conclusion. I hope you can see what I'm saying. Conclusion. Okay. This is point one. I mean, opinion paragraph. I think this question is opinion paragraph. Opinion paragraph. Then one paragraph, and then conclusion. I mean, introduction. Sorry. It says although some people believe that children ought to be educated by their parents on how to be good citizens of the society, others have the opinion that the best place to acquire this training is the school. This essay will discuss both points of view and will also explain why I strongly believe that parents are in the best position to help their children become a positive influence in their society. So that is introduction. Now, some people argue that although I find some fault in this work, this was one of those work that she did when she had not gotten what I wanted her to do. So some people argue that it is quite important for children to begin at an early stage before going to school. Before going to school. Sorry. It's okay. Before going to school, to understand that the world beyond the home needs to be occupied by individuals who have a positive mindset and are willing to make their contributions to maintain law and order in the society. Now, so this is, let's say this is our first point. It has now been brought into that paragraph. Okay. And so then she continues to explain, to achieve this, parents can begin to teach their words.
Our God don't go.
Hello? Hello? Was somebody backbiting? Backbiting.
Palade backbite. Mrs. Palade.
You where they work, we suppose the face between they do. You see you know Alana.
So did you believe her?
Well,
You backbite.
well, both of you are friends, so I'm sure she cannot snitch on you for the wrong reasons.
Ha.
So let's go on, please.
I laugh in French.
Better laugh in Delta.
All right, sir.
So that you understand what you're laughing at. All right, so so let's go on. Sorry. So now, by the time the person get to school age, by the time they get to school age, it will be more of a complementary role for the school to help in the upbringing of their children. Besides, this is another point she's bringing, I guess. Besides, the school can be considered a practice ground for what has been learned at home. Nonetheless, certain individuals believe that it is the responsibility of the school to, okay, here, I think this is the second point. Nonetheless, certain individuals believe that it is the responsibility of the school to design learning programs and activities that will shape children into positively minded patriots. Now, look at this. This first point. These are first points. I mean, these are second point. Second point is the first sentence of that paragraph. Then first point here is the first sentence also of this paragraph. So let's put it in red. Let's put this back in red, in black. But let's put this in yellow. That's our first point. The first point becoming the first sentence of that paragraph. All right. Then this also first point becoming the first sentence of that paragraph. I hope you understand.
Yes.
So
It's actually the first sentence.
yes. So first sentence. So let's go back to what we're doing. Okay. I hope all other persons understand what we are doing. and we are not just taking a stroll without you following keenly. Okay, so
Yes,
um
sir.
yes, so topic sentence, main point of the paragraph. Then after the main point of the paragraph, which is gotten from your outline, the next thing is you should explain the topic sentence. Do an explanation
Yes.
of the topic sentence.
Mm.
And how do you explain? You give us the reason. The reason why you said this thing that you said, though, give us the reason. You know, you were saying earlier, Mrs. Busari, that information, women, um, there's need for balanced, gender-based inputs in places of work.
Input.
Yes. So then you want to go back before you arrived at that, and you want to say, maybe you said there should be balanced gender-based input in places of work. Then you give us, in those days when certain professions were exclusive to a particular gender, there were um, there was a monotonous method of thinking because men would rather think with due to strength, and all they think is about physically doing whatever they need to do, and so on and so forth. If it is women, they would rather do things based on their gender. Maybe they are soft-hearted, they would just stay away from the hard, strenuous work and all of that. And this has brought about the fact that we can hardly be able to achieve certain goals in those fields because of these inadequacies on the part of different people, on the part of different genders. You have gone back to why you said that this is why we need it. Then you have given us a reason. Then in one blow or so, you should be able to compare and contrast what would happen if we have gone back to the past. Then you should compare and contrast what will happen if different genders are now brought into that field, the kind of variety of approaches that would be brought in that will now make us have more advanced level of practices in whatever we are doing. You understand? And then so you contrast and compare that. You know how to compare more. You say more stuff, more something will happen, and then you the contrast will be like, would this happen then this is
I'll
what is.
compare the past
Yes,
when it was only female gender to
yes.
when we now introduce
If
male gender.
yes, then also because all these things are interwoven, then you give us the consequence, what we will get if that is done. That's what we call consequence. What will happen if that is done? Okay, if that is done, if government allows that proposal to work, or if government do make use of that proposal, you give us a consequence. It's not in any particular pattern. It doesn't have to go in any particular pattern, but you should try as much as possible to bring in these three things in your explanation of your topic sentence. So then after that, you now explain. That is when we talked about specifics. Your first idea was specific because it was specific. You were thinking about, nursing used to be a female thing before now. And in those days, nursing practice was a bit, underdeveloped because there wasn't the what's it called, the input of male, gender-based input. Other people, other gender, maybe a male gender, the input of the male gender has not been in nursing practice, which has brought about some um, drawbacks in the practice. So we talked about specifics. So although that was how you raise the point, then you come back here to use that specific as your example. That specific can then be your example here. You exemplify. You now say, for example, the nursing profession before now used to be a female profession, but Now, recently, there has been an intrusion or admission of some male into the profession, which has brought about a better, um, um, a better, a better nursing practice, which have brought about um, brought huge blessing and benefits to the populace, something like that. So you bring in that, then um, then you do many conclusion by saying, from this we can see that it would be nice for government to bring in the same gender, the same amount of male and female into different. So I hope you understood what I mentioned before the network went AWOL.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please.
I was saying that the specific words, I use mental health as an example.
Okay.
We need more of men in that kind of department. How should I put it?
Okay. I
We need more
understand.
in that unit. They need
What
men.
what will be the reason why you think mental health departments need more men than more men these days?
Why do I what?
Why do you think? Why is Mrs. Balade googling? Why do you think mental health
Oh my,
department need more men in that department these days? Just for
because
just for our consumption
in
anyway.
mental health, because now because of those ones that are severe, that their health condition are
Because
severe,
of their strengths.
they can destroy things, they can start. In fact, in some instance, one of their drugs used to give them high libido. They can want to, maybe they want to rape or something. So we need men that can handle them, like so that we restrain people. You understand? Because most times we ladies we run because we be so scared. So most of the time it's those
Mm,
men that
mm,
you
mm, mm,
can
mm.
handle them. What now? Am I the only one here? Is it up?
So Mrs. Falade, can you give us a better understanding of what we're talking about?
Okay.
No, it's just because of their strength now.
Okay.
I think that's why they need male nurses in mental health. It's just because of their strength.
So
You can't say because of their strength alone. So
And
explain
what
why
again?
because of their, is it to give medication? Is it strength?
You can't run now. It's not professional. Why
I
will
will
you
not
run?
run.
It's not
Somebody
professional.
want to
That's the
somebody want,
truth.
how can you tell
You
me to stay
use
when I want to be killed or someone want to
you
rape me out?
see, you can't really run. It's scope that you will use, but as in, it's not professional for it to say run.
Okay, you stay there, ba. Okay. Who said so?
okay, let's hold on. Let's hold on. But I feel a bit slighted. You know, this is just personal. I'm taking it personal already with you, Mrs. Balade. Why would you say it's because of strength? That's why you need me in nursing.
Yes, as
Because
in,
of strength.
she's talking about mental health, not in nursing.
Okay.
In mental health, yes.
Are
Most
you
times,
talking
like if
about
you have
mental
a
health or psychiatry?
Yes, now that's the
mental
psychiatry.
health and psychiatry is almost the same thing. Now, when you talk
Okay.
about the mental health, the
Same.
thing is that if you're a male and a woman are in duty and the patient is misbehaving, the male will go forward. But as in, not that the female will run away. Yeah, will you run if there's no male local? Won't you work?
Anyway,
Oh,
I understand you, and I think a student of mine sometime was also giving me information. Sorry, people who are not medically inclined, Mrs. Oshidi, no, I'm sorry for this, but I believe this information will help you, can come in handy at some point. Okay, that's why we are going into that, and it seems as if we have sidelined you. So sorry for that. I believe it is going to help at some point. Okay, it might help at some point. Some people, I've had a student who was saying she would have preferred to go into orthopedic nursing, but she said she didn't go into it because she's quite petite her stature is quite petite, and that particular unit or profession needs people who are quite, you know, strong and heavy in order to be able to lift patients, maybe lift the legs of patients, lift maybe a patient that has, backbone injury. They need to lift them once in a while to help them go to help them turn, do this and that and all of that. So if it were to be, if, for example, she were to be a male, despite her petite nature, she won't be looking at it that way. She would still be able to move into that unit and still be able to offer a little assistance, because a typical male and female of the same structure, most likely the male is going to be a lot more stronger than the female, despite they may be of the same weight, the same structure, the same size. The male is likely to be stronger. So I think that's a good one from that end. So that. I think I understand what you're trying to say. All right. But I believe we all got what I was saying from the explanation of the thesis to reasons to comparison to contrast. Now let me say that going back in time to talk about what used to happen is only typical of that particular question type, where you say men should be, where that question, but some other question may not be like that. You may just continue to explain why you think so, why you believe that such thing. So now these things that I have in colors here, this is, so who can remind me what are these things? What are the full meaning of these things? What's the SC? Can anybody remind me what SC is?
Subordinate clause.
Good. Yeah. Yes. Oh,
Conceptual device.
It's cohesive device. Cohesive device, relative clause, passive voice, collocation, comparison, gerund,
Gerund.
to infinitive, sentences of varying lengths, synonyms, paraphrasal, vocabulary, and referencing and substitution. So these things, these are typically examples or elements of vital signs. You should bring in your vital signs because this is where you begin to make use of them. You should make use of vital sign in your essay. All right. So here, some word icons are university dropouts. We mentioned that in our point. Let's go back to where those points were. Those points are. We raise the points. Raise the points after this question. After this question, we raise the points here. Some word icons are the events of. That's why I think that character is more important than success. Because some word icons are university dropout. They didn't go to school, but yet they became very successful in the world. Despite the certificate being the reason anyone would be employed, good work ethic is what sustains the job with promotions. Okay, so then we move to this page. So we said we have done the introduction. So this is paragraph 1 of the body of the essay, or second paragraph of the essay. Some word icons are university dropouts. Then I want to begin to explain what I mean. Reason why did I say so? Why did I say so? I'm saying that our world is filled with examples of persons whom, now, you see the coding that I'm putting in the color codes, and you can see I'm reflecting them in the what's it called, in my write-up. We are not going to be allowed to put color codes. We are not going to be even allowed to have paints. But I'm just using to explain to you that I have all my vital signs hanging almost everywhere. And that is how you should also write your own work too. The vital signs must be reflected everywhere, in every angle. Some word icons are university dropouts. our world is filled with examples of persons whom have done so well for themselves in their chosen fields of endeavor, regardless of their obvious lack of formal education. These individuals have become large employees of labor. I'm not explaining why I'm talking about this, but I'm explaining myself of what I mean by about what I mean. I'm explaining what I mean by world icons. Then I'm going to drive it through the fact that they did not go to school and yet they succeeded. All right. So world icons is our world is filled with examples of persons whom have done so well for themselves in their chosen fields of endeavor, regardless of the obvious lack of formal education. These individuals have become large employers of labor on the international scale, donors to charitable organizations, and are sponsors of groundbreaking scientific researches aimed at making our world better. In spite of their obvious disadvantage, they have true virtues of great interpersonal skills, integrity, serious drive and passion, climb the ladder of success in contrast to you can say I'm contrasting with, their counterparts, in contrast to their learned and certified contemporaries who go about with their class of degrees amounting to nothing. Okay. So I don't know whether if I'm too fast. So let's take this again. I hope, are we writing, or you need me to allow you to write before?
Yeah, screenshot it.
Okay. What about the others? Mrs. Oshudin, I've not heard from you in a while. So Mrs. Blessing, I've not heard from you in a while.
It's kind of fast, so I can't just get as in terms of writing.
Writing.
You
I'm
said,
using my laptop. But anyway, I can screenshot it as well. I'm going to do that.
okay. Okay, Auntie Blessing, are we together?
Yes, sir.
So are we saying I should move on?
Yes, you can go ahead.
All right. So if you can screenshot, please do now, so I can move on. So some world icons are university dropouts. That's my topic sentence. Our world is filled with examples of people, I'm explaining now, giving reasons, whom have done so well for themselves in their chosen fields of endeavor, regardless of their obvious lack of formal education. So I've hit the nail on the head that they did not go to school, did not go to the university. These individuals have become large employers of labor on the international scale, donors to charitable organizations, and are sponsors of groundbreaking scientific researches aimed at making our world better. In spite of their obvious disadvantage, they have true virtues of great interpersonal skill. Those are their virtues, characters. Integrity, serious drive and passion, climb the ladder of success, in contrast to their learned and certified contemporaries who go about with their class of degree. Those ones just go about carrying paper, their class of degrees amounting to nothing. Okay? To illustrate, now I'm giving an example. You must give a specific example. Actually, in these points too, I thought of people who did not go to school in the world, who did not go to university, who dropped out, and I coined my point. I coined my point on, okay, did not go to school, and hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir. It's you.
Okay, so I coined my words from my specifics. My specifics were that these people did not go to school. but they became successful, or they dropped out of school, so they became successful. But I went back to write a more generalized point. Now drag it towards my specifics before I now use the specifics as example. Your example must be specific, must not be generalized. So to illustrate, Mark Zuckerberg, who dropped out of Harvard University to pursue his dream with tenacity, perseverance, and passion, is the fourth richest and successful man alive. From this, it can be submitted that qualification has nothing to do with achieving greatness. And that's paragraph 1 done. I hope you understand.
So you haven't explained
I can't hear you clearly, ma.
you haven't explained the conclusion.
I can't hear you clearly, ma.
Hello, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
So I meant you haven't explained the conclusion to us yet.
The conclusion of what?
How to conclude the
Is it mini conclusion?
essay?
You mean no, we are not done with conclusion. We have not even up to we have not
Okay,
gotten to conclusion.
conclusion.
This is a topic.
Okay.
This is paragraph. What we have just done is
Paragraph.
point 1, body of the essay, paragraph 1. You understand? Yes. So if you understood that, we'll do the same thing, we'll replicate the same thing. Now, before we go on, what I think I need to explain is word icons. Word icons. You've seen words like that. Word icons go together. It's collocation. University dropout. They go together. Collocation. The word is filled with examples of persons whom is starting the relative clause. Choosing fields of endeavor. Choosing fields, we have talked about choosing fields, or you said field of endeavor. That's why I have those together, collocation. Regardless is vocabulary, high level vocabulary. All right. Lack of formal education. We have heard of formal education, which is collocation. This is referencing, because this individual is pointing us back to those people who are the world icons. These individuals have become large employers of labor. We've come across words like expressions such as employers of labor. So that's collocation. International scale, collocation, they go together. Charitable organization, they go together. Sponsors, you sponsor something. So if you sponsor something, you say you are a sponsor of. So let's say collocation. Groundbreaking is standard English vocabulary. Scientific research, collocation, aimed at, I think I should even put this one, collocation aimed at making our world better comparison. In spite their obvious disadvantage, in spite, what is that? So subordinate clause, in spite, they have through virtues of great interpersonal skills. This is vocabulary now. Interpersonal skills, integrity, serious drive, and passion. Climb the ladder of success. Ladder of success is collocation. In contrast, another coercive device to their contrast and also coercive device to their learned and certified contemporaries who, relative clause, go about with their class of degrees. That should be relative clause. Class of degrees is collocation. They amount to nothing. Then to illustrate this collocation, Mark Zuckerberg, who dropped out of Harvard University to dropped out, which is collocation, despite the fact that we have relative clause from here. Oops, sorry, please mute your microphone so that we don't get those feedback. Thank you. Okay. All right. So who dropped out of Harvard University to pursue his dream? So we can say relative clause from that point to this point. So who dropped out? But then you pursue dream. You can pursue a dream, which is collocation. Then vocabulary again, attitude, tenacity, perseverance, and passion is the fourth richest. Fourth richest is comparison in the superlative form. Richest man alive. From these, which is a coercive device, it can be submitted that qualification has nothing to do with achieving greatness. Now, do you understand that? I hope we all understand, because we are spending so much time on this particular question because it is, open essay is going to serve as a standard in your writing of essay task 2. So you must understand it very well, because the other ones are just going to be, this one is going to be adjusted to suit the other ones. We will not treat the other ones independently. I hope that is understood. So let's go again for this one. Despite certificate being the reason anyone will be employed, good work ethic is what sustains the job promotion. At recruitment, then I want to explain what I mean. Employment, I want to talk about employment, recruitment, then the job. At recruitment, there's usually a retinue of papered qualifications expected of prospective employee to possess. Let's put S there. Expected of prospective employees to possess. Okay. To possess, which no doubt contains little or no element bordering on morality and behavior. Okay. Nonetheless, it is in fact important to state that regardless of numerous certifications, without corresponding attitude with which these about to be recruited individuals send themselves well, they may not be employed, and the same goes for when they get the jobs. So that means to say that without corresponding attitude with which these about to be recruited sell themselves, if they don't sell the same well with good attitude, they may not be employed, and the same goes for when they get the job. That means they must have good attitude, good work ethic, and good behavior at work. In other words, from recruitment to retirement, workplace ethic, like respect for colleagues, meeting deadlines, punctuality, timeliness, and teamwork, will particularly make a person the best man for promotions, regardless of school degrees. Let's simplify. I hope we are going together and I'm not too fast. So simplify. A postgraduate research conducted by a colleague at work on individual successes in companies. This is research, because you can write a research, you can do a kind of research, non-existent though. You can quote a kind of research that is non-existent, that you fabricated yourself to do an example. A postgraduate research conducted by a colleague at work on individual successes in companies